Hello, everybody. This is the election predictor back with another update on the 2021 off-year elections. I guess you could say it's not even a midterm election. You could just consider this the off-year election with an update in the New Jersey governor race. Now, I know that this was reported a few hours ago, but I just think it's important to mention it on the channel. Phil Murphy will become, or not will become, but will retain the governorship of New Jersey, winning a re-election by an incredibly small margin. He is only up about 1.2% in the state of New Jersey. Jack Ciartelli, I'm not even sure if that's pronounced correctly, but I'm doing my best, getting up to 49% of the vote with 90% of precincts reporting, and Phil Murphy barely cracking 50%, 50.2, while a flurry of third-party candidates make up about 1% of the ballot. But yes, this is important. Another race that's important to talk about. Now, if you recall, and if you look back in my election prediction video, I had Phil Murphy obviously winning this election, but by a likely margin. I had him winning by about 6 points in this election. And I believe I said that in the video. And this, frankly, he did not happen. He did not end up winning by 6 points. He ended up, at this time, he's winning by about 1 point. He might end up winning by about 2 to 3 points when all precincts have reported. But it simply did not happen. Philip Murphy, or Phil Murphy, whatever you want to call him, was not able to do as well as was expected, and as the polls were predicting, the New Jersey polls were way off, and only the Virginia polls got accurate in the final days of the campaign, essentially after that Fox poll came out. But yeah, Phil Murphy. Polls wildly, drastically overestimated him in New Jersey, and then that's more of another of a polling issue that continues to happen in every single election we've had, which makes it very, very hard to trust polls, and especially states where you would expect the elections to be somewhat close. States in general, elections like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Ohio, etc. And you have to assume that they are actually going to be more tilted towards the right. Aside from Virginia, which actually still did tilt toward the right, but if the polls didn't narrow up in those final few days, it would be even worse off with the margins of error than New Jersey. New Jersey off by many, many points. Polls had Murphy up about 9 points in the final days of the election. That was completely inaccurate. But anyway, aside from the polls, this is more of another show that this is another way that people will view this election as a referendum on the Democrats and the Democrat Party. And it depends on how people are looking at this election. Now, a lot of Republicans, independents, and many Democrats are looking at this as a way, as an election that is a referendum on the Democrat Party moving too far to the left over the last few years. Not just for the last few years, but obviously from the last few months, too far to the left, embracing too many progressive ideas, and not putting forward legislation that is getting bipartisan support. As you saw from the American Rescue Plan, where no Republicans supported, not even any in the House, and then the infrastructure bill that Republicans have not supported. There was the bipartisan infrastructure bill that passed in the Senate, but the progressives did not support that. So, I mean, it was bipartisan in the fact that progressives did not support it, but you haven't really seen much of that from the Democrats, and that's what you could think. And then some Democrats, and a few independents, but not many, but mostly just a small amount of Democrats, are looking at this as because they haven't been able to fully effectuate the policies that they have wanted to put in place, and they somewhat blame Joe Manchin for not passing the infrastructure bill before this election so that they could have something under their belt, an accomplishment right before an important election in Virginia that they did lose, in the New Jersey. And that's what caused this margin right here, where Murphy is only up by 1 point, and Glenn Youngkin ended up winning Virginia by a substantial amount of points. Now, I'm not going to go to Virginia. I actually just clicked it accidentally. Well, I didn't click it accidentally. I was going to go, but I'll go back to New Jersey since this is about New Jersey. We can see very, very close margins, about a 30,000 vote margin, 29,000 votes. And then you can obviously look over the state Senate and whatnot. Democrats will win the state Senate and Assembly as projected, but What I'm looking at is the Phil Murphy versus Jack Ciartelli margins that are incredibly close and show the vulnerability of the Democrats and the Democrat policies at the moment. It was, in my mind, a referendum on not just the Democrat policies moving towards the left. Now, I do think that's usually what happens in off-year elections when the main party has control. But it's also what we talked about with education. A lot of the suburban parents switched and flipped when we saw that they were going Democrat over the last few election cycles. They have now flipped, at least for this election cycle, to the Republicans. The Republicans have won back a significant amount of the suburban women in suburban counties with that, and that pretty much was a result of the education push and the campaign push to make sure that children were not being taught critical race theory and whatnot. And then also the Republicans have actually had a significant increase in Hispanic and Latino voters, and somewhat of an increase in African American voters. So you've seen that from smaller demographics that have helped them. But anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to go over at the moment. I will probably dive into more of the demographics of each campaign going forward. In the future, next video I'm going to be doing actually, this is the next one, or one that's going to be coming up pretty soon, will be another thing that I did similar to the 100 subscriber special. It'll be a 2024 presidential prediction, coming with the 2022 Senate prediction and 2022 governor prediction, where it's all three combined in one. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And I will be analyzing these 2021 elections, at least in a few, maybe 1 to 2 more videos. And then I will look forward. We will be focusing very, very much on 2022, the New Hampshire Senate race, the Arizona Senate race, governor races, and whatnot. So look forward to 2022, because now we are essentially 1 year away. We are 12 months away from the 2022 midterm elections, which will decide if the Republicans will retake the House of Representatives for the first time in 4 years, and the Senate once more for the first time in 2 years, which is just simply one election cycle. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today. Hopefully you can subscribe to my channel. We're so close to 200 subscribers. We're 21 subscribers away, so keep on subscribing. I look forward to making a ton of more videos and awesome videos that you guys will enjoy. So make sure to possibly click on that subscribe button, like the video, and tell me your thoughts on this margin in the comments below. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.